about 35 minutes, and now I'm on the mainland. Ardnamurchan to Glenfinnan is 91 kilometres, 2,260 metres of elevation. That's 57 miles and 7,400 feet. Half of that is up and down Ben Resipol, which looks to me the simplest way of getting across from Ardnamurchan to Loch Sheil. I couldn't find a better way which had the minimum of road walking and avoided a very rough country. So this section is divided into three. We have the walk through Ardnamurchan along the coast, then up and over Ben Resipol, and then a walk up Loch Sheil. Long day. It was supposed to be a shorter day, but finding a campsite from the point of Ardnamurchan over to here, it just seemed like there wasn't the right one, and then someone asked a woman in a cottage and she said you can camp over at Sana Bay, so it was another couple of kilometers over here. So it's now past 8 o'clock, tents up, very tired actually. But progress is good, and Ardnamurchan is absolutely beautiful, and the sun's still there, and the beach is there. And I can hear the sound of the sea. So I should be relaxed. So I'm going to try and relax. But tired. So I have the Ardnamurchan coast to walk along tomorrow, which is fantastic, and Mull is behind me. I restocked in Mull with my supplies, which was fine, and so I have some nice tasty things to eat, though I'm not hungry. Still, let me just maybe have half an hour, and then I shall brighten up. change into something more comfortable, and namely my quilt. Okay, well, yeah, roll on tomorrow. So that last night was my, this is my guilty secret. I ate through most of this packet of crunchy nut granola, which was supposed to be for breakfasts. So I just had a need for energy. The path out of Sana Bay is a little tricky to find. I asked in a house and got directions, and after about a kilometre following it, it kind of dissolved, and there's a bit of rough ground for a couple of kilometres until you reach this little bay, and there's a beautiful place for camping just down there, and then another kilometre until you reach a deer fence. This is the route where I came, round this side here and across here. That's the shore over there and the cliffs. I think it might be possible to come through this bit here, but whichever way you come it's going to be rough, and you're going to meet this fence which runs all the way around. It's a deer fence, and wouldn't recommend climbing it. It's easy enough, but you can always damage it. However, there is a gate here. Another 100 yards across round here is the path, a good path. So I think this is the rough part finished, and now we're on to a little bit better. This morning it's a beautiful day out there, and but this campsite was a compromise last night. It's in sort of deep grass in a dip, and I thought it would be insecty, and but at least it was flat. And this morning there are 1,000 midges. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, often there isn't a choice of campsite. I walked through 4-5 kilometers with nothing. I mean, literally no flat place, and I can just illustrate that. Turn the camera. There's no place there where you can camp, or at least it would take you an hour or two to find somewhere. So you're always looking for places which are ideal, which is a flat piece of grass, short grass, just behind a wee hump of earth, behind which will stop the prevailing wind, so you get enough wind to keep the insects away, but not enough to blow your tent down. Not a soul on the track. I saw a couple of farmers and a few cars yesterday on the B roads, and I spoke to a couple of people in the house, gave me directions. Oh, hang on. So, well, that's broke the tranquility that I was about to talk about, and how nice it is to go through these places on your own. No sound, just nature around. So I found a place to dry the tent and have a cup of cold coffee. Cold coffee is my favourite at the moment, especially in this weather, and I think I'll have one of those as well, which will give me enough energy to get further. So put the tent up roughly, and I've just wiped it down with that cloth, and I think it's probably dry by now. So happy days. I didn't see that sign on the other side of the estate, and I did see a couple of days ago a metal thing, looked like a landmine, and I rusted. I'm sure it wasn't a landmine, but I thought, oh, landmine, better not stand on it. And there we have a notice saying if you see any, this was an MOD, Ministry of Defence area, so there may be unexploded munitions from the Second World War, or maybe some training after that. So if you can see that mountain in the background, that's the target for today. Since the weather is good, I want to get over that in good weather, so it means a push on at the moment, and maybe reach there by late afternoon. So we've come that way, and I'm just going off the road now onto this path here. I think it's going over to there. So I have a bit of pain in the front toe here, and I'm gonna have a wee look and see what the problem is before anything gets too bad. Little aside, everything I've got is brightly coloured, so I look like a sort of a ninja with all these bright accessories. The reason is trying to find things in this environment. If you drop them and they're not bright, you won't have any hope. So let's have a wee look. Yeah, I think it just needs a nail trimming, and then put this plaster around that. Looks a bit red. And right, I should trim the nails and see if I can stop anything bad happening there before it's too late. I walked along the road to the campsite at Resipol, where I was told there would be a path up to Ben Resipol, and no one here to ask. So I was looking around, and there we go. Just on cue, a nice signpost behind the chalet. There we go. So here's the route. So hopefully this will take us past Ben Resipol. About an hour and a half into this climb. I'm estimating 4 o'clock for the top, which is about another hour and 20 minutes. So it's a pleasant walk. Elevation isn't too bad, slowly climbing up, and the path is reasonable. This is Super Greens powder, so it's the wee pep up for the last hour. Get up there. So it's Super Greens from a company, a sports nutrition company, and it's been very nice. It's just the plain. I think there are two versions, and this one has well, there was many versions. The first one I tried was just, I think, simple, and it was a bit earthy. This one they put sweetener in, and it's a bit lemony. I don't know. It's just called Super Greens. I'll put some sort of idea on the caption when I get back. But since we have technology in food, we can take advantage of it and use it to keep healthy and walk longer and healthier. Because when you're walking, the type of food that you eat is not always something that is worthwhile. It's just often carbohydrates. So that's the plan, to keep filling up. Down at there was a wee shop I stopped at, had a pastry, potato and cheese pastry, and I covered it in coleslaw, and that was a huge carbohydrates and fats, and but also roughage in there, and fresh cabbage as well, so something in there. Now this should keep me going to the top. So this is the summit of Resipol, and it's just stunning today because it stands on its own, this mountain. It's got a 360 view, and you can just see for miles and miles. And where we're going is down to this forest down here. There. And hopefully the path just leads that way. There's a path that goes through the forest that I can connect up to there. So that's the plan. And then that forest path will bring me down to the shore, down to this road here. It's a little cooler this morning, so the midges are all still in their pajamas, and well, not all, some of them are out there, the early risers. Good night's sleep. I felt achy and feet were really sore, legs were sore after doing that hill yesterday and stretching to get here. Now it's only 12 miles to Glenfinnan, and the path is a forestry commission road, so it should be just fine. It's straight up the side of the Loch, and it'll give me a chance to listen to some music or some stories as I go walk. An amazing little campsite, flat. It's on an old road, so about an inch and a half down. The pegs won't go much further than that, so maybe it was an old tarmac road, but it's grown up over it, so it's very flat, and the undergrowth is a bit lower. So I'll put in a load of pegs in different directions, or shove them in as best I could, and put up guy lines and things because the pegs were not in sufficiently, but it's all fine. It hasn't been windy, and ooh, here we go. The midges are back. They've obviously heard me talking about them. Yeah. So for some reason the midges didn't appear, so I've been just able to wash these, rinse everything, wash the socks. I think today may be fresh socks day. Maybe not. Apply some cream, I'm going to deal with my toe. I've washed my face, hands, feet carefully. Didn't get a chance to do that before. And there's a wee bit of a breeze, it's cool. This is the view. So I leave no trace. There's nothing here. You'd hardly know that the tent was in this place here. Pays to just pay attention to your skin. I'm just going to put on some lip balm and some sun protection. It's not the strength of the sun in Scotland, it's the time that you'll be spending outside, and even on a cloudy day you can get sunburned. To get onto Loch Sheil side, you can walk round on the main road, which doesn't allow vehicles, but you can walk around there, around the peninsula. But there's a shortcut here, which is a wee path that cuts off about a kilometre. So let's see how good this path is. Not the spectacular arrival at the Loch I was expecting, but beautiful nonetheless. So hopefully get some views shortly of the Loch side. Today's walk, which will be pretty consistently straight on this path. More than halfway down the Loch, and the Forestry Commission, the forest is just finished there, which means it's a bit more open, and maybe find somewhere to have lunch. So the path is long, and another couple of miles to go, and I cooked a nice lunch to give myself some energy. I haven't found anywhere that's reasonable to camp along the banks. If I don't, then I'm going on to Glenfinnan and maybe a wee bit further. If I do, then that's it, finished for today. So I picked up some food in Glenfinnan for the next 5 days till I get to Broadford on Skye. I had arranged a food drop for Glenfinnan, but I think a better way would be to take a day off the trail and go to Fort William, where you could resupply, and there are camping shops there, post office, transportation links, and a lot of restaurants. This is part of the Cape Wrath Trail, and it leads up to Loch about a couple of thousand feet up in about 5 miles or so, and then down into some very wild country. Follow the Cape Wrath Trail for another 4 days, and then I'll branch off to Skye.